Keith Little has an opportunity right here to make a little history and win some big money. He's going to start it off. Carter won the toss and elected to let Keith Little start.
Which means that Keith Little will be rolling on 14, finishing on 15, while Don Carter, who had the choice of the matter, using a little strategy, wanted to start on 15, thus making him finish on 14. Far inside, or to the left of the center spot on the approach, is Keith Little. This is the first ball of the final match, worth $5,000.
He's high. He leaves the 6-10. He fails to get the strike that he wanted to start things off. Carter defeated Hoover, Dick Hoover, 230 to 205, and Keith Little vanquished Don Bickford, 212 to 200.
For Little, this is his first PBA tournament of the year, and you can't do any better than he's done because he's in the finals after tremendous competition, now going for the 6-10 on 14. And he marks.
Carter had 6 strikes in his first match. Keith Little had 7 strikes.
Carter now rolling his first ball on 15. Watch this precision.
He crosses over and gets a Brooklyn, and a slide
Look at that smile
across his face. He'll take it. Little, after all, had 2 in his match, and they were very important because he defeated Bickford by only 12 pins.
It's the old story. They look at the scoreboard, not how you got it, but they look at the sheet, and he'll take it.
As good as a line drive if it drops in there.
Carter now will move over to 14.
And a chance to gain an immediate advantage over his opponent. 10 pins to be exact, if he can hit right here on 14.
Here's a guy that's delighted bowling fans in Puerto Rico, Philadelphia, Cleveland, Birmingham on the PBA tour, and right now today live in Houston.
He left a couple of 10 pins on this.
He liked it.
Lane earlier, but he doubles now. Laid that one right in the pocket. So Carter starts with a double. Keith Little, who started with a spare, comes up in his second frame.
A couple of ex-baseball players bowling each other here in Houston, Texas. Little, who hit 30 home runs for Houston in the Texas League in 1957. Could use a strike right here, working on a spare in the first frame. Shooting in the second. Crossing over and getting it.
He says if it's good enough for Carter, it's good enough for me. So he gets his rookie. These lanes have been in good shape, very conducive to high scoring. We've had high scoring throughout the tournament. And you saw here on TV today, Don Carter with a 230 game. This gives Little 20 through the first frame with a strike. He's 10 pins down, but can make the match even by hitting right here. Of course, Carter could change that right around again.
We've got a pair of Brooklyn strikes on 15. And now going for a double will be Keith Little on 14. Father, 3 children, Randy, Lynn, and Diane.
He's right over that second arrow and high again, and he comes up with that split that he flirted with earlier as he leaves the 6-7.
Early breakthrough. This is the final match. Coming here in the third frame.
That, of course, is it's conceivable that he can cover this one and make that 6-7. Let's see how Keith Little does it. With that big hook of his, he has a pretty good chance at it. See how close he comes.
Taking a lot of time.
No, he's right on it. And couldn't get it, so he opens in the third frame, and he has 48 through the third, and Carter, who's now ahead by 21 pins, can increase his advantage even further. Now, this is where he crossed over before on 15. Let's see what Don does here in the third frame. Looking for 3 in a row. He started his first match with 4. Isn't that right, Chris?
Yes, he did. 4 in a row. There you see he has 2 already and looking for a turkey.
There's another Brooklyn on 15 once again, and 3 in a row. And Don smiled the first time, but he wasn't smiling this time, a little disgusted with himself. However, his lead is now 31 pins over Keith Little.
You know, he elected to start on 15, hoping to finish on 14, which apparently would mean that he likes 14 better than 15, but 15's been pretty good to him. With 3 in a row now, he'll try to string together 4.
Nothing bad about that one. That's 4 for Carter to start this game, and once again you start thinking in terms of $10,000, which ABC TV will present to anyone who bowls a perfect game here in our semifinals or finals. Now, Keith Little, who opened his last time, would like to get started on a string of his own. He started with a spare, got a strike, and a split. A little bit of everything so far.
A fellow that uses a conventional grip with a high outside roller.
That's his angle. You could tell. You could tell when you were watching that ball roll that he had found the groove in that particular delivery. Now he'll be up in the 5th frame. Down, however, by 42 pins to Don Carter at this point in the match.
The winner gets $5,000. The loser, $3,000. Don Bickford today earned $1,250, while Hoover won $1,500 as Don Carter, the leading money winner. We're looking at him right now with over $11,000, has a chance to really take the lead. Keith Little working on a strike.
Looking for his first double, and they get the 4-pin. It looked like a 6-pin that came all the way across the lane. Chris, looked like a 6-pin, came all the way across and knocked that 4-pin down for him for a double. Somebody in the audience yells, "That's showing him, Keith." That gets even for a couple of those Brooklyns that Don Carter had, but Carter has 4 in a row.
And is now on 15. Don had a break in his concentration there. Hearing a little excessive noise. He's taking in his time now, repositions himself.
He's had 2 Brooklyns on 15. He's way outside this time. Comes up and leaves a 10-pin. Well, he started in his first match with 4 in a row and was tapped by a 10-pin, and the same thing happens again. His lead is 31 pins over Keith Little, who has a double of his own going. Carter's string is stopped, and so if Little can continue to hit, he'll get right back in the match.
And you know, he had that 10-pin tap on 14 the last time after stringing 4. Now he has another 15. Maybe that was the reason he wanted to finish on 14, is because of the tap that he got in that first semifinal. Is Keith Little looks very calm. For the 10-pin, Don Carter.
Carter had six strikes in his first game and did not open. Bowled 230. He's off and running with another worthwhile game here. Started with 4, then a spare. Has 109 through the 4th frame, as you see, with a spare up. Little has 48 through the 3rd with a double, and a chance to do something about the 31-pin lead that Carter enjoys at this point.
This is number 14 lane. High. Leaving, as you see, the 4-7.
Carter is out of the groove momentarily. His lead is 29 pins. When Keith Little comes up again, if he hits, he can cut it down to 19, hit again, cut it down to 9, and it's not inconceivable that he would do that. That very explosive ball he delivers. Carter on the 4-7.
Perfect way to cover that spare by Don Carter, Mr. Bowling. You're looking at the tremendous crowd at Belfort Lanes in Houston, Texas, as Don Carter is bowling against this fellow, Keith Little of Dallas, Texas, bowling for $5,000.
There's a real big frame for Little, as you see. He has 48 through the 3rd with a double up. He's down to Don Carter in the match by 29 pins. He could pick up 10 of those with a hit right here, which would give him a 3-bagger. Let's see how Keith Little is able to do. He's on lane 15 in the 6th frame. Way out with that ball. Coming up in. Oh, look at that 8-pin. Where did that come from? Boy, you couldn't ask for a better hit than that, and he'll be lamenting that thing for many a day, I'm sure, because he had a chance in this match. He still has a chance, however, but they really diminished with the That 8-pin popping up and looking at him. That hurt.
And another expert shaking his head. I watched Dick Hoover, who was down by Don Carter in the first semifinal. Had to look twice to believe it. For the 8-pin, here is Keith Little of Dallas.
Keith is still shaking his head because he knew that he could really use that one. He's down by 30 pins. They each have a spare in the 6th frame. And with only 4 more frames to go, and against a formidable opponent like Don Carter, why, nothing but trouble. You see, a 30-pin lead for Don Carter.
Next week, we're at the Oak Hills Bowling Lanes in San Antonio, Texas, for the PBA Oak Hills Open.
After that, Oklahoma City,
Oklahoma City,
San Jose, Las Vegas.
Did you say Las Vegas?
Mm-hmm. Little trying to start something going for himself. And he leaves the 5-pin. The new spare master, Bill Lillard of St. Louis, meets Joe Donato of Schenectady, New York tonight on Make That Spare, immediately after the Fight of the Week on ABC TV.
Keith Little now, carefully positioning himself. It's about his same starting spot for a first frame ball as he goes for the 5-pin and covers it. Now there's Don Carter, the man that's the leading money winner on the PBA Tour with over $11,000. Exact amount is $11,422. He's bowling here at the Belford Lanes. I think manager Bob Halliday has handled this tournament beautifully.
There's Carter with that good 10-pin action, getting that real fine kick from the 6, gives him 147 through the 6th frame with a strike up. He maintains his lead over Keith Little. It's 31 pins as Carter streaks for $5,000, and he's bowling in the 8th frame.
And as we pointed out before, he has finished second 3 times. In other words, losing in 3 finals on the PBA Tour. And if he can win this will be his first actual victory, yet he is the leading money winner. Prize money scaled down beautifully for these bowlers. Going right down to 20. The 20th one on the list has earned nearly $3,000.
There's a double for Carter, increasing his lead even further over Keith Little. 41 pins, and this match isn't over, but is not far from it. Keith Little has 116 through the 6 with a spare up, and it's very obvious that he has to start a string to have any chance at all here in the 8th, 9th, and 10th frames. Got to put those strikes together. And no 10-pin this time. On his last 3 deliveries, he has left an 8-pin, a 5-pin, and a 10-pin. He's been in the pocket. Gives him 135 through the 7th. And he'll be shooting at the 10-pin for a spare. Carter has a possible 267 game here. There's Carter. He started with 4, spared twice, and has come back with a double. Little shooting a 10-pin. In the 8th frame. Covers. Gives him 135 through the 7th with a spare up.
Got a pretty good idea there from watching Keith Little as he came back from the line, rubbing the perspiration off the forehead. The pressure is really tremendous here.
He has a possible 215 if he can strike out from this point. Carter, a possible 267.
Keith Little had a 212 in downing Don Bickford in the 2nd semifinal. Bickford 200. Carter beat Dick Hoover 230 to 205.
Little in the 9th is way out, comes way up and carries. Boy, he can carry from a lot of angles. That fellow with that hook of his, I never thought he'd come up to that one. And then when he did, down they went. A real mixer in there, and he gets his strike in the 9th frame. Well, Carter opens here. If Carter opens, the way would be paved for Little to make an exciting finish for us. However, if Carter bangs another one in there, why, that'll be it.
On 15.
And he hits. That's 3 in a row for him. And that's the match. You're looking at a fellow who's $5,000 richer than he was just a few moments ago. Don Carter. Keith Little will be relegated to second place money of $3,000. By the way, this is a $25,000 tournament. Now here's Carter in the 10th frame, a chance to give the fans an additional thrill of witnessing a 267 game. We had a 298 rolled in this tournament, Chris.
Yes, and a pair of 290s along the way, and just a great number of high scores, 260s and so forth. Carter on 14.
That ball really hooked. And he split. I bet he's glad he didn't get that one in the last frame. This is Carter's 10th frame. Possible 232 now. If he covers the 610 here.
And if that becomes a reality, as you look now at the 6-7-10, putting together a 230 and a 232 is pretty good bowling on television.
Looked like he was trying to cover. Carter finishes with 232. Oh, 230, then 232. He has won this match and the $5,000 that goes with it. And there's little doubt but that Keith Little, at whom you're looking right now, and who still has a chance for a very respectable game of 215, is quite a sentimental favorite with the crowd here.
He's done a wonderful job, Keith Little.
He's a freewheeler up there. Leaves the 7th in this time. 195 is his best possible game now. However, he is assured of $3,000, and I imagine it'll cause us to see more of Keith Little on this tournament trail.
And speaking of hooks, Jack, it brings back memories of Billy Whaley a few years ago, and Bill Lillard, who had those big white sweeping hooks, and Don Carter, steady, consistent president of the PBA, has won his first PBA tournament in 1962 as Keith Little covers the 7th end.
Gives him 175 through the 9th frame and a possible 195 game if he can hit here with his last delivery. And this tournament is all but over. We started off in terrific fashion with that Carter-Hoover match. Carter started with 4 in a row. Hoover spared and then came up with 3. We'll have a chance to recap both the matches for you after a while.
Here's Keith Little. The hospital 10 days ago with a virus infection has come out here and has finished second out of 144 bowlers.
194.
And the Texas fans give our home stater a fine round of applause, and we'd like to applaud him too for having done such a great job in this tournament in Houston, Texas. Tremendous. And we'll be right back to meet the winner of today's exciting tournament on Professional Bowlers Tour.
There you are, Don. $5,000. He was a very fine opponent for you in the final.
Yes, he was, Jack. I think he should be congratulated. He's only bowled, I think, about 3 of our tournaments, and he bowled very well. In fact, I was very fortunate to beat him. Played a little Mickey Mantle there, you know, left side and then the right side, the first 4 frames. And I hope Dick Weber didn't see this show.
He'll be on you, huh?
Yeah, he'll be on me pretty good.
Well, listen, if Weber had bowled well, he'd have been here to see it.
Yeah, yes, he would. Thank you, Jack.
Yeah, Don, thank you very much.
Thanks, Jack. Thank you very much.
And that takes care of it. Chris Schenkel, it's all yours.
The next stop on Professional Bowlers Tour is San Antonio, Texas. And Jack Buck and I will again bring you the semifinal and final matches of another great bowling tournament next Saturday afternoon on the ABC television network.